Do you think she looked like Megan Fox?
Hell no. She was a lot. Girl, she looked like more like Scream with that long shit. Yeah.
And it's Is Love Blind, not Is Love Stupid. Good morning, good evening, good night, good whatever time you're watching it. I am Brooke.
I'm Cameron.
And this is Love is Blind.
What in the world? This ain't a Love is Blind.
Good morning, good evening, good night, good whatever time it is that you're watching this. I'm Brooke.
I'm Cameron.
And this is A Tale of Two Twenties. Cam.
Oh my gosh.
That juicy tea.
That juicy tea. I'm so excited.
Love
Is
Blind.
Oh my gosh.
Season 6.
Season 6.
Let's get into it.
Let's get into it. May I add that this is one of the best seasons yet, I feel like. Season 1 with Lauren and Cam definitely is one of my all-time faves, but this, I feel like it hasn't been any drama or...
That's this juicy. I feel like the drama between SK and Raven, with him having a whole...
Oh, we didn't find out about that till after.
That's true. That's true.
During the season.
That's a good point. That's a good point. You know what? You might be right.
We have a lot to unpack here today. We have a lot. Like, I'm excited.
Let's get to it.
Okay. Let's first of all start with the couple synopsis. Let's begin with, let's see, there are 5 couples that made it. I think let's save the best couples for last. Let's touch on
juiciest.
Let's save the juiciest for last. Let's touch on Johnny and Amy. What is your POV on them from this season? Like, what do you think?
Johnny and Amy, I think Chelsea said it best, much to Jimmy's chagrin. He hated it, but she was right. They are the strongest couple. I feel as though they didn't do too much shopping around. They were able to hone in on each other early.
Yeah.
And I think that advantage was that they were able to get to know each other in the pods.
Yeah.
So whereas some people that we'll see, Jeremy, or even Jimmy, didn't make their decision until the 11th hour. Yeah. And so they spent the whole time with their focuses kind of split. Whereas Johnny and Amy honed in on each other early and were able to really take the time in the pods to kind of pre-date, and then they had that full engagement experience once they left the pods. Yeah. So I feel like they were the strongest couple, and I'm really going to wager that is what set them apart.
Go from the less juicy to the most juicy.
You're trying to rank.
Let's see. We have...
But you have them as a little less juicy just because they didn't make it on
Yeah, they
didn't. Yeah, that makes sense.
I would say next, we could do Laura and Jeremy, I guess.
Laura and Jeremy. I have to admit, I was bored. I was bored watching Laura and Jeremy. I was very much bored because I just felt like it was one note the whole time. I feel like they had the same issue with each other from day one to D-Day. I feel like they had the same issue the entire time, which was that she didn't like his communication styles. They did not have the same expectations for their relationship. And her argument style was belittling the entire time, condescending the entire time. So I feel like he did avoidant, she did aggressive, and they just had completely different ideas of what life should look like, and so it just didn't mix.
Yeah,
the only thing they could agree on was like having a clean house.
So true. I feel like they connected like early, like in the pods. They seemed to have like a cool little chemistry initially, but then it just completely just failed through once when they started to spend time with each other one-on-one outside of the pods. It's just like...
But remember, he was another one who kept his options open until 11:59.
That's true. That is true. Yeah. Red flag.
Literally.
Red flag.
Because Sarah Ann and Laura were toe-to-toe for him.
Yeah.
And even when Sarah Ann asked him, why me? Or excuse me, why not me? Why her? He was like, I really can't tell you.
Yeah, red flag.
You don't even... So did you flip a coin?
Exactly.
Did you wish upon a star?
Yeah.
Like, what?
We're going to get more into Jeremy's narcissism.
We are. We're going to get a little bit more. Okay, who's up next?
We have Chelsea and Jimmy up next. There's so many problems with those two and why I think they shouldn't have been together in the first place. From day one, I was telling Brooke this off camera. I don't think that Jimmy was even interested in Chelsea when they first met. I think that he fell in love with her personality, but when he saw her, you can just tell. Body language says a lot. His body language gave off, I'm gonna try and make this work because I love your personality, but like on the real, like you're not my type.
I don't.
Because even when he saw for the first time, what's her name? He was like, yeah, this is someone that I will more fall for. Chelsea was never his type.
Is that what you expected?
No. She definitely lied to me on some how she looked.
I think that the folks on this show, their issue is that they're saying, oh, can I like personality without the context of looks? Mm-hmm. And for some people, the answer is no. Mm-hmm. But even more important than that, it's, can I share the expectations of what life is supposed to look like? Do we have a shared expectations of what relationships and communication should look like? Yeah, you're taking looks out of the equation. Congratulations. Yeah. There's still a lot more to it. Mm-hmm. And even Clay said in the end, he was like, finances. We didn't align on finances. They were so busy trying to figure out, can we have chemistry without a visual attraction that they didn't look at.
Right, they disregarded. Yeah.
And is love blind, not is love stupid. To not ask about finances, to not ask about gender roles and relationships, to not ask about your upbringing. Like literally I feel like they kept it so surface, and I feel like they completely missed the point, because the whole purpose is, can I assess somebody on all these other factors without letting looks make or break it? But I just don't think they went deep enough with their conversations, honestly. I feel bad for both of them, because I think that they both very much wanted love, but they did not have a clear view on what life and relationships will look like. And Chelsea, girl, we're gonna get to you with this.
We're gonna get to you, Chelsea.
But all I'm gonna say is Chelsea is not ready.
She's not ready at all.
She's not ready.
But also Jimmy, I feel like Jimmy could have been more real with her. I felt like he was lying the whole time. Again, body language says a lot. His body language gave off, I am just not interested. I think it felt so full. Ooh, and I, come run us over.
No, you're fine. Shut up.
Shut up. Well, no, I think that Jimmy was really just trying his hardest to make it work. We're gonna keep going. It felt like, to me as a viewer, that Jimmy was just trying his hardest to make it work, but to him, he couldn't get past her looks. In my. Okay, and last but not least, moving on to AD and Clay. My head just wants to explode, because my just point of view on Clay. Clay. Why did you sign up for the show? Why did you he should have never signed up for the show. Clay should have never signed up for the show. He was not ready from day one. AD, she tried to change that man. I think that whole situationship just proves you cannot change a man. A man has wanted to change for himself. He gave a bunch of red flags in the pod. He had every red flag in the world. Yet she continued to try and dive deeper, continue to try and get to the root of things and try to fix the man. You cannot fix a man. He did not want to change. He was going to stay the way that he was. And she knew that. She fought too hard for that man. He gave many red flags. I think he should not have signed up for the show. And that's my stance on it. He should have left his ass at home. He should have got fixed before coming to the show. He should have went to therapy. He should have not signed up for the show.
Well,
he should have not have broken her heart like that. It was just unfair. It's just selfish, if you ask me.
You felt that in your chest. You felt that in your chest.
It pissed me off so bad.
Okay, well, I do have to say I have a slightly different perspective.
Okay.
I have a slightly different perspective, and I'll get more into it once we roll the clip.
Okay.
But I will say that I don't think that AD was ready either. And I mean this with the utmost respect. I think that AD was desperate. I don't think she was ready.
Wow.
In the sense of desperate for love, desperate for validation, desperate. Ooh. Even down to like how her butt is her whole personality.
You think so?
I think she uses her body as a crutch. I think when she feels like she might not be accepted, she consoles herself by saying, but I'm fine. Not fine like I'm okay, but fine like, I'm fine. But I worked on this body though. I really feel like that was her. She makes her body was such a focal point.
It was.
It was such a focal point. And I feel like it is part of her. I feel like if you ask her, what do I bring to the table? She'll say, I am a ride or die in my body.
Okay, buddy.
I feel like that was how she positioned herself.
I think that that's how they positioned her.
I think that that's how she positioned her.
Really?
Even down to the altar, she goes, look at the material.
But that's because he hyped her up. He gassed her up.
No, but she, even when she was in the bridal suite getting ready with her family, she was twerking it. Her body is her personality. Her body was her personality the entire. And I wish we had gotten to know her a little bit more. But I think she really centered herself around her sex appeal. I think she really, really did. And I think she centered him around his sex appeal as well, because when she was talking to her mom and her mom was giving her advice, she said, isn't that a gorgeous man? Your mom is trying to give you real life advice and you talking about how he looks. Like it was too. That's what I mean when I say desperate for validation. And she very much gave me, and listen, I can't psychoanalyze, but it very much gave me insecure. And so my body is my crutch. It didn't seem at all like she, because even, and we're going to see it, even in the last moment, she's like, why am I never enough? That is something, that is a deeply insecure thing to say. But even she, when she was talking about Amy and, oh boy,
Amy and
Matthew
Johnny?
McConaughey, yes, Johnny.
Johnny.
She was like, but I know they effing. Amy is sitting up here saying we're not ready for children, and we haven't figured out a method of contraception that works for us yet, so we're taking it slow. And she's like, well, I know they effing. Her focus was wrong. Her focus was wrong. Here is a woman who has a solid relationship, and she's telling you we've chosen to take it slow. And here's why. And your thoughts are, you're too in love, you've got to be having sex. Girl, maybe you shouldn't have had sex because it's given, dickmatized. I don't know. It was giving very much, because notice how you say that there was red flags. She was willing to. What did she say? She said, if I see a red flag, I'll paint my nails the same color. Girly, and that's just not to say that she deserved to have her heart broken at all. I'm gonna say this about Clay, because later on I'm going to defend him, but I'll say this up front: if he was that mature to have all those recollections, he should have been mature enough to tell her in advance. And the fact that he said it was really a game time decision, you should have had enough wherewithal within yourself to say that whether or not I'm getting married is not something that I should feel in the moment. If I cannot say 100% certain beforehand, then I need to just tell you. And he owed her that courtesy, and he didn't do it. So I'm not saying that she's all in the wrong, and I'm not saying that he's all in the right. I definitely have my critiques of both of them, but that's my assessment.
That's deep. See, I didn't see it that way. I just saw her as a confident woman. Like, okay, like she's confident, she worked for what she has. But yeah, like that just brings me to what she was saying, like about her dad not being in her life. So to me, it's just like that must be correlated like to like some daddy. It's a lot.
Which she did admit that she had, but I don't think that she even saw when it was coming about. Which we'll see it. We'll see it when we get to the clips. But that's my hot take on Clay and AD.
Interesting.
Okay, I see it. I see the Megan Fox resemblance.
What?
In the eyes. I'll show you later. In the eyes, she looks like... So let me put it this way. Okay, I'm saying this and I'm not trying to bully.
Yeah.
Do you know the Crimson Chin from Timmy Turner?
Yes, I do.
So put Megan Fox's eyes and face on the Crimson Chin.
We're going to insert a picture of Megan Fox. Then we're going to insert a picture of Chelsea. Do y'all see the resemblance? Do y'all see it?
What I'm saying is it's not a 1-to-1.
Oh.
It's Chelsea plus Crimson Chin equals Megan Fox.
But let's
No. Megan Fox plus Crimson Chin equals Chelsea.
Okay, so we're going to put all three. We're going to put Crimson Chin, Megan Fox, and Chelsea. And let's see what we get.